Welcome to Brunch with Besties podcast.
Goodness.
Of course, you have Sherry Renee and my beautiful co-host,
Chanel.
And this is episode 18.
Woo.
18.
We legal.
18. Yep, we legal. We getting old out here.
Listen,
fast.
we
real
trying.
fast. So today's topic is my life is my own.
Mm-hmm.
My life is my own.
All right.
But as always, we're going to start with the toast first. So, Chanel, who are you toasting to today?
Okay. So I'm a social media junkie for Instagram. So yeah, I know that. So today I did a list of my top 10 bearded followers.
Oh, okay.
So you gotta look at
to the bearded followers.
So yeah, so if you follow me on Instagram at @TheRealChanel, you can see my list. I'll post like the list because it's in my Insta stories, and that's gonna go away in a couple hours. But I posted my list, and it was good times today. I was at work like doing this all day. So shout out to everybody that I chose to be in my top 10. Your beard is out here flourishing. I see you. I wanted to recognize that. So shout out to all the beards, and just for the people that I follow, because I do No Shave November, and I'll like shout out like celebrities, but they ain't never gonna see it. They don't know. So I wanted to do some local people and some people that I actually know, and I shouted them out, and I was getting some great responses, and it was fun. So shout out to them.
Any honorable mentions or anything?
I did have an honorable mention. My one honorable mention was Renell from Social X. Okay. He was on the Evolving Chair podcast, so if you listen to that, you probably heard him on there, but he was one of my honorable mentions today. His beard is really nice, like clean cut type of beard. Also Dooch was my number 7.
Shout out to Dooch.
So Dooch has a great beard, so it was a bunch of wonderful guys on there. Eric from Sweats and Suits podcast was my number 3.
Okay.
His beard is strong. So, yeah.
Beard game is strong.
Listen, beard game is real strong. So, shout out to all of those guys. And I can't wait for next year.
What? It sounds like the whole beard game is a lot of work.
It seems like it is.
Because they be going in. Like, some dudes be like, no, I can't do a beard. I can't do this. So, it seems like, it's a real thing. So yes, I'm glad that you recognizing the beard.
I did, and I had to. And I was basing off criteria, like it had to be like nice and clean shaven and cleaned up, and it had to connect, because some people beards don't connect, and that's kind of like cheating. So I didn't want to include those guys, but shout out to them. Maybe next year. I'm excited about next year's No Shave November, and shout out to Tashonda. She also does it, so if you follow her on Instagram as well, shout out to her. She does it every year, and every year her list, I'm just like, where are these dudes at? Because she finds some really, really great ones. So that's my toast today, all the Beard Gang members.
Beard Gang.
Yes.
My toast is to Seth from Sweats and Suits podcast, because he was on our last episode.
Oh, yeah.
So check out episode 17 when you get a chance. So, it's just a good time, good collaboration. So just wanted to shout out him. And also honorable mention to Eric, because if he was available, we would have loved to have had him on as well. And, and Seth kind of posted something saying, it was a meme saying like, this was Eric's face when he found out that I did 2 pies without him.
That was funny.
Yeah, he was out here cheating on him.
He was cheating, but we're definitely looking forward to going on Sweats and Suits podcast, so be looking out for that. We did get an invitation to do that, so set that up so we can go hang out with you guys. So yeah.
All right, now let's break bread. What's going on, girl?
Girl, we were just kind of digressing before we started recording, and my day was really crazy. Like, so hug a teacher, hug some educators, because we do a lot of work.
They at their breaking point right now.
Right now it is absolutely like we're all hanging on by a thread, ready for this Christmas break. And I'm definitely ready. Today was a really, really tough day, but I love my babies, but I'm getting old, man. I don't know.
Today was rough for me at work too.
Yeah,
it was rough. I'm ready for our shutdown. Like, I'm ready to wrap this year up.
Listen,
and start over.
Listen,
like for real.
Yeah, 2017 was not it, and so 2018 has to be it, because 2017 started like up here. We was like, yes,
man. But the whole first quarter was good.
Listen, first quarter was great, but now. Listen, I'm down here, so I'm ready for it to be over. Yes, let's count down, let this ball drop, and let's start over. So I'm ready.
Okay. So now we have a new segment. It's called Leave a Tip.
Awesome.
So the first tip is so this episode is sponsored by Jazzy Ray Jewels and Accessories.
Hey.
Jazzy Ray Jewels and Accessories is a women's clothing store. They specialize in statement jewelry and trendy fashion. They are located at 4307 West Fleet in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They also are online.
Mm-hmm.
So don't feel left out if you're not in Milwaukee. So you can shop anytime online, of course. The website is www.jazzyraejewels.com. That's JAZZYRAEJEWELS.com.
Awesome.
So we love Jazzy Ray.
We do, and actually follow them on Instagram as well at Jazzy Ray Jewels to see all of her hot items, hot accessories, hot clothes. Yes.
And we will be posting photos of some of our favorites, some of the things that we have purchased. So definitely be on the lookout for that. If you want something unique, something different that you don't want to see anybody else in, you want to stop by.
You want to go to Jazzy Ray. Yes.
You want to stop by. The second tip, excuse me, apparently I'm sick.
Girl, my whole class.
Apparently I'm sick. The second tip is Audible.
Yes.
So this episode is also brought to you by Audible. So as you guys know, we are starting a book club, and we just want to give you the details really quick. We're going to be reading Soar, Build Your Vision from the Ground Up. We're going to start at episode 19. So we're going to cover chapters 1 through 3. And then every episode, we're going to do 3 additional chapters. So from episode 19 to 22, we will be talking about the book Soar. So definitely feel free to use our code to download your Audible book at audibletrial.com/BWB. BWB as in Brunch with Besties. Yep. So we're going to post about that as well. But we just wanted to let you know and just kind of give you some details so that you guys can go ahead and get your free copy.
Yes, get your free books. And I mean, it's all kind of books on Audible, which is really dope, man. They're read to you, so you don't have to kind of read for yourself, it is nice.
And if you love podcasts, then you probably would love an Audible book.
Yeah. So, and they're not like that monotone, like dry eyes guy. Like it's usually like somebody who has like a really engaging voice that's reading the book to you. So go ahead, download that. Download Soar. Download all the books you want, child. Get it on using our code.
Yes, and the code again is audibletrial.com/BWB. Okay, so now it's time for tea time.
Hey.
So there was a speech that was done by Tracee Ellis Ross at Glamour Woman of the Year. It was a Glamour of the Woman of the Year speech that she gave. It's called My Life Is Mine. You had a chance to listen to it?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
So first thoughts.
So a lot of what she was saying was really relevant to, women in general, not just, Black women. But I think women, we have a lot of pressure being put on us when, just you got to live your life and do what's best for you.
You do. So one of the things that she focused on was basically society putting pressure on us to have kids and get married. So that's kind of like the baseline for success. So, she has Golden Globe. She's the star of Blackish, like she out here killing the game, doing her thing.
Absolutely.
She's pretty successful in her own right. And I think she said she's 45.
I believe so. She's around that age, yeah.
And people are like, oh, it's not too late for your life to mean something. You can adopt.
Wow.
And, oh, you just haven't found the right man yet. Like, I'll be praying for you, like stuff like that. And it's like, I thought I was doing pretty good with my Golden Globe and my beat me, having everything. My own show and everything.
Right.
But
apparently not.
Right.
Which is messed up, man. That's crazy.
So, yeah. And I know for us, people always say, like, why are you single?
You know what? I really don't like that question.
I don't
because what do you want me to say? There isn't an answer to that. Like, oh, I don't know. Like, I can't speak for the millions of men in this world as to why I'm still single. Like, that's not a question that has an answer.
I guess I don't really know why it's being asked.
Right.
Like, I guess I want to know, what are your intentions when you're asking, why are you still single?
Right. Yeah. I just feel,
I think that the assumption is that you want a man.
That very well could be it. But when men pose the question, like, well, why are you single? I guess I'm assuming that they're thinking like something's wrong with me. Like I'm crazy or I'm the crazy baby mama or just something like negative. when a man asks me that question. So it's just like, well, I don't know why I'm single. I just am. Like, it is, I mean, that's like, why are you black? I don't know.
I was just going to say that.
I was more
God
this way.
said,
Yeah, because God wanted me to be this way. So it's really interesting. And then when I haven't had many women ask me that question, like, why are you single?
I think
they
do in different ways. I think it just shows up differently. So you saw the meme about like how so Thanksgiving is come and gone now, but prior to Thanksgiving, there was a lot of memes going around where guys would be like, hey, like, I'll be your bae for this, for a plate, I'll do this.
Oh, Lord,
For a plate and a take-home plate, I'll do that.
Right.
So that women don't have to show up at Thanksgiving alone. But I think that, like, a lot of older women will say, like, oh, so you just haven't found the right one yet? Or, so that they're still asking, but just in a different way.
Did you have that at your family Thanksgiving dinner? Were people like, why are you single?
No. Nope. Mm-mm.
Okay. Yeah, neither
but
do I.
I will say there are some people in my family who will be like, oh, so are you dating anyone? Or, is this and this and this? And I'll be thinking, like, if I want you to know something, then you'll know.
I'll tell you, Grandma. No,
get out of my business.
So, yeah, that's very true. No. In my family, no. And it's probably because a lot of the women in my family are either single or, like, divorced or something. Like, their relationships didn't go well. So nobody really gives me a hard time about, like, why are you 30? You're single. I mean, I have a kid. So maybe that's why it's just like, whatever. Like, if she tried and it didn't work, so we'll leave her alone.
A for effort.
So, hey, A for effort.
But
she
was out there.
I definitely don't get that pressure. And unfortunately for a lot of women, there is that. So that's why these memes they're funny. But it happens to people in real life. Like,
well, it's funny because there's a little bit of truth in there, right? Because it's a common question that they're going to be bombarded with. I get a lot like, why don't you have any children? And I always think, because I'm not married.
Right, like, duh.
I ain't doing this by myself.
Listen here.
Not intentionally.
It's so crazy how that is just, like, going over people's heads. Like, wow, you don't have kids? Like, well, what's wrong? But no, because I'm supposed to be married.
Because I'm not married.
Right. So. That's an easy one. That's an easy answer. Well.
Yeah, but every time I answer it, my face is like, this is a dumb question.
Right, yeah.
So to all the people out there who have asked me, now you know, I think you're dumb. No, I'm just I
And it's funny because I've been running into a lot of guys who don't have children. And I'm always like, wow, that's really, like, dope. And I look at it as a wonderful thing. Like, wow, I think that's great that you don't have any kids. Like, you weren't being out here reckless. Not saying that people who have kids, because I'm one that has a kid who are just out here being reckless. Some of us are, some shade but no shade. But however, like, it was good that they were being responsible, that they don't have any children. I think that's amazing because you should be having children with the person that you're married to and not just anybody. So it's just how I feel.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Are there what else do you think people measure our lives? I guess to me, sometimes I'll be thinking, like, why are you in my business? Like, that's for real what I be thinking, like,
all right, why you want to know?
Yeah.
I think that's
it's one thing if I'm complaining about it, or if I'm like, oh no, blah, like, woe is me, or something like that. But that's not the case. And actually, even in our group chat the other day, somebody was like, I'll be praying for all of y'all and y'all husbands. And I just, like, looked and I was like, I was going to comment, but I was like, Sherry, don't.
That is funny.
Don't do
I think
it.
that was me and Nadia. I don't even remember what we were talking about. No, it was a picture of, like, I posted a picture of, like, a group of friends and they were all pregnant at the same time. And Nadia responded like, yeah, like, I can't wait. I'm going to have this baby. And again, my kid going to be like 10 by the time y'all have kids. Like, I'm waiting. So I was like, yeah, girl, just pray for us that we find these husbands so that we can have these babies together.
And I was thinking, like, don't pray for me, though.
Oh, no. Just said, yeah, I don't want that prayer. Just said, renege on that prayer.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
No thanks.
No, I mean, in all honesty, I don't think I measure my life and being married, like, that's not the top goal, because there are still some other things that I want to do for myself that I haven't done yet. But I do hold marriage and getting married a top priority in my life. Maybe not the end all be all, like, oh, my life is set because now I'm married and I have this husband. Because once that happens, I mean, life doesn't stop. It's not the end.
It goes on.
Right. It still goes on. There are still goals that you can accomplish. There are still things that you can do for yourself as a woman. But I will say I do want to be married. That is something that I want to happen, but I'm not counting it down like, oh, I need it to happen like next year or the next 5 years. When it happens, it'll happen. I'm definitely not in no hurry to be married right now because the way my life's set up right now, and that would not work at all.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently I am sick. But I think for me, I don't know if I want that. So I'm always really offended when people just assume that I'm either lacking in that area or any other area, or that like I haven't accomplished something, because I think that I'm a pretty accomplished person.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think that if I really wanted to, like for the sake of doing it, I probably could. Yeah. But I guess for me, I'm more interested in right now in purpose. You know what I mean? I'm more interested in that. And I guess if I meet a guy that makes me say, oh, I want to get married, you know, I think that sometimes it's just crazy how the order of operation is. Like a lot of people, and I'm not saying that it's wrong, but like they want to get married, so then they find the guy and they get married. But I kind of like want to find the guy and then decide like, oh, I want to get married. If that's the case.
And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. That's smart.
So for me, I don't necessarily like want to get married. It could be that I find a great guy and that makes me say, oh, I would love to be married to him.
Yeah. So, and that's how it should be. Like any guy that you date, I don't think it should be like, oh, I'm going to marry him. Because every guy, again, we've talked about this in the 5 keys to identifying your soulmate, kind of. I mean, if you don't have those 5 things, this ain't the person you're supposed to marry. This ain't that. So don't rush that. So I think you should meet guys and, you know, kind of date and meet people. But if that guy, like, you know something like, no, I don't got that feeling like I could spend the rest of my life with him, then no. Like,
right, yeah.
Yeah, because that, I mean, it's the rest of your life. Like, you really
it is.
gotta,
like, that's a heck of a commitment.
It is, like, forever. So, yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, but I do think that marriage is beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And whenever people recently, you know, because it was the holidays, a lot of people have been posting a lot of family photos. And I'm like, oh, like, your family's so beautiful or whatever, and things like that. So, you know, shouts out to y'all. But I just think that people... I think that people should measure their own, like, you know, our goals are different. They don't have to be the same. And I don't think that we should assume that they are.
Right. And I think just because we're women, we shouldn't be put in that box either. Because men aren't being treated like this. Like, oh, well, you're not married, so that means your life sucks. So that's not how it goes for men. So I don't understand why that same thing happens to women. I mean, I get it, you know, 50 and 60 years ago, that was kind of the thing. You know, you're 20, you're 21, you get married, the men are going off to war and all this other stuff. So, I mean, there was a necessity to be married. Those were different times. However, now we don't have that going on. So if it doesn't happen and this is not the right man I'm supposed to be married with, then it's okay. Like, my life is not terrible. Like, I can still go on and do whatever I need to do, and I'm still successful regardless of if I'm married or not. So
yeah. And you know what, I wonder if if we went the other way, if we did get married, have kids, and not focus on career, if it would be the other way around.
I think so. You know what, I had a guy tell me this one time, like, he was basically like, you know, however it was, he basically put women in like categories. So it was like silver, bronze, and gold.
No, yeah.
I probably told you that. I don't remember. But he told me like, yeah, like you would be a bronze, because he was like, I mean, you're well educated, but you have a kid, like you're a single parent. So I was automatically put in the bronze because I was just, you know, I had a kid. But I think people think like that. Like, if you're educated, like you have some type of stature. But if you're educated and married, it's like, oh, well, now you really got it. Or if you're like uneducated, and I feel like it's tiers to it, and people kind of put you in those boxes.
But those boxes are all fake.
It is. It really is.
It's crazy. Like, it's not real.
It doesn't mean anything at all.
When I was in high school, so when I graduated from high school, you know, we were all 18, and one of our friends was getting married, like right after high school.
Okay.
And, you know, real smart, amazing woman, right? But that was her goal. You know what I mean? Like family and kid, like things like that were really important to her. And so at that time, you know, I was thinking like, oh, well, wow, that's great, because that's what she accomplished what she wanted, right? And so, but then people would come to me and they'd be like, oh, you know, I just always thought that she would go to college and do this and do this and do that. And I was like, if she wanted to, she could. You know what I mean? This is what she chose. So then later she actually ended up going to college and doing, you know, doing all this other stuff. But I was just kind of like, it's so crazy, because at that time, you know, that's what a lot of people were doing in our circle. So they were just kind of like, oh, like I was kind of expecting her to do this and do that. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm sorry that you're disappointed. But she's kind of living out her dream right now.
Exactly. And listen, so, that sounds like the point.
So I just wonder if either way, people were just going to be measuring us and we just weren't going to live up to it.
I think that's really how it is. Like, and it's funny because it's always like the outside looking in. Like, you can say whatever you want about what I should be doing with my life, hence my life. But it's really like, okay, but what are you doing with yours? Like you said, like our goals are not the same. So what works for you and what track you're going down is not the track for me and what works for me. So for me, I do want to be married. Like, that's something where I know that that's what I want to do. But I'm not just going to pick anybody because, oh, he ready. Then I'm going to get married to him. No, because right now where I'm at in my relationships, like I've been running away like a mug from like everybody. Like, no, this is not going to work. So I'm definitely not forcing it. But it's crazy that society, we're still on that. Like, and it's very sad with Tracee Ellis Ross. Like, she is so bomb. Like, I'm sure if she really wanted to be married, she could pick anybody and just get married if that's what she wanted to do. But she knows that no, like, I'm not for everybody, and I want a man that's going to be who's specifically made and created for me. And I'm hoping that's what she's waiting for. And I'm sure she dates. Like, I'm sure she's just not at home like knitting and tweedling her thumbs. Like, she's gorgeous. So it's interesting that people feel that way about her at 45. I mean, again, at 45, age ain't nothing but a number right now, because she don't look 45.
She really doesn't. She is beautiful.
So it's like, and age is a state of mind.
Sometimes she'll go live and do like her workouts and stuff. Like, she be getting it in.
Yes, her body is amazing. She's gorgeous. So she ain't hurting. She ain't at home sad or like lonely or depressed. I'm sure she's living her best life.
Well, she was talking about how, especially since on her sitcom, she just gave birth to her 5th child.
Oh, yeah.
That people are like, so when you gonna have a baby?
That is,
and that's
crazy.
The thing, because that's usually how it was phrased to me, especially at my old church. It would be like, so when you gonna get married, or when you gonna have a baby? And I'd be thinking like, we at church and you literally are asking me when I'm gonna have a baby, and I'm clearly not married.
Have you seen my fingers? Like, they're bare. Listen,
putting the cart before the horse here.
Yeah, no.
But then, you know, especially because during that time I was, you know, trying to go to college and do other things that were important to me.
Exactly. So, and that's what it's about.
Continue to do.
Listen here.
But she made a comment, Tracee Ellis Ross, saying that when you kind of go against the grain, people call you like these different names, right? Selfish, aggressive, ball breakers, and all these other things. All
negative connotations just because I'm single or unmarried and I don't have children. But what words are there for men who do the exact same thing?
There isn't.
They're bachelors or
exactly.
Like, no.
That's true. Yeah.
So a single unmarried man with no children would be called a bachelor. Like, this is a great thing. Like, everybody wants to do that. But I have to be a ball breaker and selfish. And no, I'm not.
I have had people tell me before, like, oh, are you just like selfish and things like that? And for me, I don't know if I want to have kids.
Who are these people talking to
you? And again, I won't do that unless I'm married.
Exactly.
So for me, like, that's not even, I'm not even considering kids until I get married.
Yeah. And
if that even happens. So
listen, and that's true.
I'm just fine being an auntie.
Exactly. Like, and if that's what works for you, that's absolutely fine. And me, I have a kid, and I'm really to the point where at this point now, I'm like, I don't know if I want to have any more. Yeah. Because then I have to split my time again with this new person. Yeah. I have to feed and clothe this new person. I have to split my love. Like, I really have a great relationship with the one. This sounds so terrible, but listen. So
but your life is your own.
My life is my own. So I have this great relationship with the kid I already have. I just don't want to start over, and I don't. And I'll always have this thing, even before I had my son, where I didn't want to have a bunch of kids with different last names. That means something to me. Yeah. So for me to, have another kid, that kid would have a different last name than the kid that I already have. And that's not the children I want to bring in this world. So call it what you want, but I'm perfectly fine with the 8, almost 9-year-old kid I have. And if I meet somebody and he happens to have kids, that is wonderful. Then, we could just Brady Bunch it. And if he doesn't have children, we going to have a long heart-to-heart about what we going to do. Because I'm really, I think my kid is dope. And anybody who would get him as a bonus kid would be happy with the kid that I already have. Yeah. So, yeah.
True indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I think that a lot of times people underestimate, or I guess for me, right, they underestimate things. Because I'll be thinking do you know what I'm doing right now in life? I can't be nobody's mama today. They just be like, oh, so when you gonna have kids? And I'll be thinking this is not just something that one just does. You don't just have kids.
You sure don't.
That is a commitment like no other.
Listen.
First of all, this child must be inside of you
for the 10 months.
Right, exactly.
The 10 months.
And you will be the host.
Listen, just
for this thing.
The host doing the most.
Doing the most.
The absolute most.
Then you have to go through this process of delivery. And I saw Lakeisha have her baby child. That was something else.
I saw the other day on Instagram a baby crowning, because I've never seen it. Child. And I had my own kid. And again, when they were look down, look, I was oh, no, I need to see that. So I've never seen anybody actually have a baby.
Oh,
so
no.
I'm scrolling on Instagram and I follow some pregnancy page or something. I don't know. And it was the baby actually crowning. So I was wow, a vagina really opens. Yes. And I didn't know that
wide.
Yeah. It was.
That's a magic trick. Right
it is. I was what is that? So yeah, and having children is definitely a commitment. It's a blessing. Don't get me wrong. And and
it's beautiful.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It is.
Shouts out to all the mothers and the mothers to be.
Yes, and praying for the moms who people who want to be moms and they can't get pregnant, because it is, and it's definitely something special. So we don't want to make it seem like we're making light of it or just to downgrade it, but it's a commitment nonetheless.
It is,
and if you're not ready for that, then you don't have to be do whatever you're doing in your
guess
life.
For me, that's what it is. It's that's not what I'm focused on right now. There may be a time where I am and where where I'm trying and all of that, but that time is not right now. And just because you think that I should have kids right now doesn't mean that I'm going to.
And that's not going to make me want to do it anymore, because you're oh, we don't have a kid.
But to me, honestly, it really sounds foolish, because I'll be thinking y'all just talk about it casually like it's, it's a sweater.
Yeah.
That means for the rest of my life, I have to be someone's mother.
I have to keep this sweater forever.
And look, I lease cars because I don't even want to commit to them.
I can't even commit to the car I drive. I can't even commit to this lease that I did for my house.
Hey.
I can't commit to nothing.
I don't want to commit to nothing.
So listen.
I want to be able to go when I want to go. No, I'm just playing. No, but don't get me wrong. I definitely think that motherhood is a blessing.
Absolutely.
There's probably nothing more beautiful than that, but that doesn't mean that I want to participate.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And it doesn't take away from all the great things that you've done in your life up to this point. Motherhood is great, but you've done some equally amazing things in your life.
And I would like to think so. But you know what? Oprah was talking about that as well. How people gave her a lot of slack for not getting married and not having kids. And she was just I knew that they would not fit into my life. But I think that everybody can agree that Oprah is mother to everyone.
She is.
She
could definitely be my extra mama. Crack.
Right. And I mean, I mentor a lot of kids. I think that I play different motherly roles.
Absolutely.
I don't necessarily have to give birth to fill that role. And even if I didn't mentor or play those roles, I think that that's still okay.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I have to do me.
Right. And that, like you said, it comes up in all kinds of different things. So you don't actually have to birth your own children, but I mean, you're birthing your career. You're nurturing that. You're nurturing whatever else you have going on. So it's not just children is, you know, what other kind of marks can you leave on the world? I think that's the point. Like, kids are a great legacy to leave behind. It's wonderful. Yes. But what else have you done for the world? You're just leaving these kids, but what else have you done for the world to leave your legacy behind?
Right. Like, how have you contributed to society?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so, Oprah, I know she's gotten it so much, but it's just like, do y'all recognize that I'm Oprah and I'm a billionaire? Like, I don't care.
It's funny because I think it was her podcast I was listening to, and she has Shonda Rhimes on there.
Mm-hmm. And now she has a kid, Shonda Rhimes, I believe, right? Okay, yeah.
But Oprah was but Shonda Rhimes isn't married.
Oh.
And she was saying how people are kind of like, oh, when you gonna do this? She was like, I think I'm good.
Listen.
Like, I kind of like my space.
Listen.
But
and that's another commitment. Marriage ain't just
it is
this wedding.
And that's the thing too. I think that a lot of times for me, I think of the whole picture, and a lot of times people just think of one aspect of it.
Sure.
Like, they're like, oh, you know, you went to school, you do this and you do that, like, you should have kids. Or you're old enough, right, to have kids, or you should get married. But I'm thinking, like, look, then you got to have marriage problems.
Listen.
Look.
Are we old enough? Like, 30? Listen, I'm still, like, trying to get my life together. 30 is no.
It's not. It can't be.
It cannot be. Because I'm still like, no.
No, but, like, honestly, like, there's, with everything that you do, with any accomplishment or blessing that you have, there's good and bad in both. You know, so it's not just the marriage, like, oh, I get to post pictures and say I got a husband and wear a ring. Like, that's not marriage.
That's not it at all.
You know, marriage is every day. Every day. It's a fight.
Ooh.
I ain't trying to do that right now. So like I said, if I meet a wonderful guy that makes me say, like, oh, I want to have his baby and I want to be with him forever, then I'll get married and then I'll have kids.
And then that'll happen.
That's
when it's supposed to happen.
When it's supposed to. But Absolutely. I guess I'm not necessarily seeking out children or marriage, and no shade to anybody who is. I pray that you find it, you know.
Yeah.
But that's just not the way, that's not my journey.
Yeah.
And so for Oprah, she was saying how she felt pressure to get married, and her and Stedman were supposed to do it.
Oh.
And then she said, I think it was the day of...
Oh, they were actually going to get married?
Yeah, like they were going to do it.
Oh, wow.
And the day of, something happened, and I think she was supposed to shoot a show or something, and she was like, I kind of rather shoot the show
than get married. Listen.
Yeah. And then that's when she realized, because I don't really want to do this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't really want to do this. And I think that that's what I've been, you know, we kind of talked about this when we talked about transitioning to 30. Just being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like this. I don't want to do this. I'm not, you know, just like y'all, when y'all want to go out and stuff, be like, all right, I'll be at home. I'm not coming.
Listen, unapologetically you.
Like, I'm not coming. Why? Because I don't want to.
Because, it
I'm
ain't
not
even no excuses. I just don't want to come.
I'm not going to say I'm sick or that. No,
it's real
look,
simple.
I ain't coming because I don't want to come.
Dude blocked off her whole Sunday. Like, don't actually do that.
And that's the thing, too, because I'll tell people, like I was telling my mom, like, you know, a lot of times people will invite me to stuff last minute or try to do stuff, and I'll be like, look, I don't do stuff on Sundays.
Yeah, no.
Right.
Or last minute stuff.
Aside from this pod, that's the only exception, because it's a hard stop.
Yeah.
And we've committed to do this weekly, so sometimes that's just the only time that it works. But I also don't accept last minute invitations.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, so that it doesn't matter, because it's too much of a burden on me, because I do a lot of different things.
Right.
And so if I keep accepting stuff last minute, then next thing you know, my weekends rolling together, I haven't even had a time to rest.
And yeah, you definitely need that me time.
I need me time,
stop,
because it's my life.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm definitely not mad at that. So yeah, my life is mine. So this is a perfect topic. So however you live in your life, it's yours. Live it to how you're supposed to live it. And the only thing that I want to say is most important over like marriage or children is always like, what legacy do you want to leave? Like, that's why we on this earth. Like, that's what's most important. Not, oh, she was married to Jim for 45 years. Right. Like, don't nobody care. Like, okay. Or she had 7 kids. No. Right. What kind of legacy are you leaving? Or what kind of legacy did you instill in those 17 children that they can leave to the world and, you know, kind of build on your name? So, yeah. I don't know. I wish somebody would ask me, like, when you getting married? I don't know. So it don't even matter, like, for what.
Right.
So why are you asking me
And you
that?
know what's crazy is, like, I don't do that to other people. Like, I never say, like, if there's something that I accomplished, I never ask them when they are going to accomplish that.
Right. It's just dumb.
Yeah. Like, I never say, like, oh, when are you going to, I don't know.
Right.
Whatever.
XYZ.
I'm not going to say anything because I ain't trying to throw no shade.
Listen, right.
But, yeah, I'm like, there's no way for me to clean this up.
But we're all different. Like, we all
different because I know that I chose a path.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you don't have to understand it.
Right.
You don't have to like it, and you don't have to agree and any of that.
It doesn't. I'm all for girl power. Do whatever you're doing. Do whatever makes you happy. And life is short, man. So live your life, live your best life. Whoever coined that, shout out to that, because that's a great phrase. Like, live your best life.
Your key word is your.
Absolutely. And just do whatever makes you happy, whatever that is. So Tracee, if you're listening, Tracee,
shout out to Tracee.
Listen, shout out to you. We want you to know that you're amazing, and it's okay that you're not married, because I'm sure your DM is lit all the time. I'm sure you got men everywhere that would love to have you as their wife, but you choosing to do you and live your best life, and that's goals right there. Keep doing you and living your best life,
as she should. And you know what else? I think for me, I've always kind of been different. Like, I've never kind of went with the crowd. You know, we kind of talked about that with Seth being on here, because he's like, you know, you kind of like in your own little box, right? Like, because there's a lot of common things that people either have done or whatever, and me, that's just not who I am, right? You know what I mean? Period. So, and
it's nothing wrong with that. Like, I don't get why people think you're like a alien or you're like this different person. Like, okay. And that's the thing, like, this world will have you thinking that you not enough, but it's just like, it don't matter what the world think. Like, stuff change every day. People are doing just everything and trying to make a case for it to be acceptable or whatever, but do whatever you want to do.
Right. So, but I would also say that people need to consider why they're doing some things, because it's like, oh, everybody's doing this, and I'd be thinking like, yeah, but why? Like, that's dumb. You know what I mean?
And that's today's culture with, you know, with social media. Don't get me wrong, I'm a IG queen. I love it. But I feel like that's the culture today. Everything's quick and people pick up on stuff like the memes or the, like, what's been the meme for like November? I don't even know. I can't think of like a highlighted one, but you know, you have like the Jordan crying meme, and you have like the SpongeBob and the Mr. Krabs meme. Like, these things pick up and people pick up on it, and they kind of ride that wave, but it's just like, but why? What made you pick that up?
Right. Yeah.
So they don't know. It's what's popping right now. Like, it's hot, so people want to jump on it.
Right.
So they have no other reason other than that. But the Jordan crying meme is hilarious. So
actually, all the memes.
Says the meme queen. I am the meme. She had a whole camera roll full of memes, and that's it. No selfies, nothing. Just memes.
Just memes.
That's it.
That's it.
So
no pictures.
Using all her 34 gigabytes. No, what is it, like 120 now or whatever the highest number is?
I got the highest one.
You got the highest one. It's all memes. That's it.
All it is.
That's it. So, but yeah, I mean, the world we live in today is ever changing. Like, every day is something else. So if you trying to keep up with this world, child, you tired, and I'm tired for you, trying to fit in and figure out every day what you're going to do and who you're going to be and who you're going to aspire. Like, no,
right,
too much work. So I'm still living in 1999.
Right, because we reference this all the time. We're like, cause, you know, back in the 99.
Back in the 99. I'm still living in 2005. So listen.
That was the best year ever.
Oh, I swear. 2005 was crazy. And to think that it's been, that was a long time
That's when
ago.
I was all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
I was out here. I was a PIMP back in the day. The good old days when I was young and I was a smooth talker. It was good times.
Can't.
I don't know what happened. But that's neither here nor there. But that's another show. But yeah, back in the 2005s, yes, cracking. We were great. We were very we had big goals, and it's funny to look back and see what did you accomplish since then. So I would say we were tight. Like, I feel like we did a good job.
I think the goals that we had back then, I don't think that we accomplished them the way that we wanted to. Because remember, back then, we thought we were going to FAMU.
We did. Whew.
Yes.
And God must have knew something. Because
he was like,
if we would have went there, listen.
I feel like God was like, finish him. God just wasn't going.
Yeah, God was like, oh, no, you don't. Not on my watch.
God was like...
The side-eye meme, yes.
Not today.
He was like, yeah, y'all ain't going. But it's funny that you said that, because I feel like all the goals that we did have then, like, they kind of took different routes. For me, like, my journey took a little longer than I would have liked it to, but nonetheless, like, I finished and I did what I said I was going to do, and, you know, I got the things that I wanted to do. And I'm sure yours too, like, it might have tweaked a little bit, like, you wanted to do this, but then you went this route. So
actually, you know what? I did a lot more than I wanted to do. Because back then, I just wanted to get a bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to do that. I didn't really know. Oh, I think I wanted to be a lawyer.
You did.
At first.
Yeah, that's what I was
and
just
then my
about to say.
first major was journalism, and I was like, they only make what?
You say, oh no. Yeah. I can't live like that.
Oh, no.
You see these student loans?
Right.
No.
But shouts out to all the journalists.
Well, listen, we got love and respect for y'all.
Love for
yeah.
Yes.
So that's interesting.
But I think that the form that it was in, I was like, I don't love it enough.
Absolutely.
To continue down this path. So
I'm definitely with that.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just about actually there's a guy who we wanted to have come on the pod, but we weren't able to meet up with him. His name is Josh, and his whole messaging is do what you desire.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
This is a Josh with the toy drive?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, he is having a toy drive, and actually I'm trying to get a bin from him so I can collect toys and books at my job.
Oh, cool.
But I know he's definitely collecting at Fuel Cafe.
Okay.
Until the end of December.
Yes, I saw that.
Toys and books. So yeah, I think it's his 4th annual.
That's awesome. So if you can donate, definitely drop off some goodies for that.
But just think about that messaging though.
Yeah. Do what you desire. Yeah. I love that.
Like, do I really want to do this?
That's true. And it's so funny because I feel like we keep coming back to that. Like purpose and desire and just the point of it all. And I wake up every morning and I'm just like, no. Like, I know it. Like, I feel it in my soul that this is not what I should be doing right now. So yeah, I'm just keep praying on that and get through what I need to get through. But it's definitely something else out there for me to, you know, continue to use my talents and what I do have in a different capacity. But it's just interesting that's a reoccurring thing for us. It keeps coming up.
Yeah, it does. It keeps showing up.
Yeah.
So. Hey. But we're gonna read this book.
Yes, I'm ready. I'm excited. Well, it's gonna get read to us. Yes.
Shouts out to Audible.
Right. She ain't read that.
We are not in school. She is not reading.
So it's gonna get read to us in a really engaging voice. So yes, make sure you get that Audible. But that'll be next episode.
So what other pressures do you feel like society puts on us?
Okay. So I wasn't gonna go there, but I'm gonna go there. So
I'm scared.
No. So many of you hopefully you've watched this She's Gotta Have It on Netflix.
So you don't have to explain it because there's people like me who tried and failed, honey.
Here we go. So She's Gotta Have It was originally a Spike Lee movie. It was his very first feature-length film that he recorded in 1986. And it's
86,
about
that was before my time.
Before we was even born. He was out here making movies.
I thought you was gonna say back in the 99.
No, honey, back in the 86. So back in the 80s. He made this movie, and it was very I want to say controversial at that time too. So it's about this young lady who has 3 lovers.
Okay.
And she dates them simultaneously. And when I say date, I really mean she has sex with them as well. So she's having sex with all 3 of them. So when I say date, that's what I really mean.
So date is code for sex.
Date is code for sex.
Okay.
But she can't commit to any of them because she doesn't want a man to label her or put, you know, any pressure on her to, conform to him. So she goes through each relationship with each guy, and they have their ups and downs, and they have these conversations. But ultimately, she tries to be with one of the guys at the end of the movie, but then she was just like, I just couldn't do it. Like, she ended up cheating on him, and she was like, no, like, that's not for me. I'm made to be free. Like, I don't want one man to tell me, what to do. So then 25 years later, he reboots the movie, and now it's a series on Netflix.
Oh, so it was already existing. Like, it already...
Yeah.
Okay, because you said 25 years later. I'm like, so this has been on Netflix for years.
No. So the movie came out in 1986. The Netflix series just started this year. So however long that is.
Okay. Yeah.
So whatever.
31.
Oh.
Right? Because we 30. So.
Oh, we are.
Yeah. That's why I'm like 25 years later.
Sorry.
I'm like, so this has been a thing, and I'm real late.
Listen. Yeah, I teach kindergarten. But anyway. Anywho, he started the Netflix series, and the series has the same premise as the movie.
Is it the same actual actors?
The only person that's the same from the film to the movie, there are a few characters that were in both. So, like, one of the main characters, one of her friends, is now playing her mom in the series because now she's older, obviously. And Spike Lee, obviously, he has to put himself in his stuff every time he does something. So
he was
DJ
in Khaled.
it. Yeah, so he was in the original, and he's in this one, and he has, like, a small cameo. But it's mostly, like, new people. It's very fresh and, like, really up-to-date and relevant. But it has the same premise of this woman is simultaneously dating these three men, and she doesn't want to be tied down to them. And I think that's in one of the episodes, I just blogged about it on Singles in the City. So if you have time to read that, I just blogged about episode 2 it's titled Bootyful. Okay. So I think another pressure, I said all that to say another pressure that women have to face is how we look.
True indeed.
So that whole episode was about her homegirl. They have this like made up fake show. What is this show called? Like that
Brunch with Besties. I'm just
it's called Lunch Ladies. No, I'm just kidding. This show is called some ass. I thought dude just gonna know. Okay, we gonna have to look it up. But it's something where it's a game show, but women go on there to get like a fake booty, basically.
Oh, okay.
But it's just like really ridiculous show, so they kind of talk about the show, and the friend is like, yeah, I'm thinking about going on there, and the main character is like, nah, like you don't need to do that, like you're beautiful, like what makes you feel like you need to do this? And she goes into like, well, my baby daddy has this like big booty girlfriend, and she's like kind of not really feeling herself, and she works at this dance club, and all the girls have like big bottoms and everything, so she's very insecure about her body. Beautiful girl, but very insecure about her body. And it's very relatable because I think as a woman, you do see so much like the fake.
Yeah.
And I think Lil Duval posted something the other day, like, stop comparing yourself to $10,000 worth of surgery. Like, it's not real. So the things that you say, and it's really unfortunate that these young girls who are growing up in this social media age have to see that.
Yes.
When that's really, like, they didn't even wake up looking like that. Like, they probably woke up and they looked like who did it and why. So it's like, but then, they put on a makeup and they have all these surgeries, and then, okay, now they look like something because they paid to look like that.
You know what? It's scary to me because before it was only like celebrities and things like that were doing it. But like now everyday people,
it's regular people getting
regular
surgeries.
People like completely, oh God, just destroying their bodies.
Yeah. But here's
what
the thing.
I call it.
Yeah, and I don't want to say like, just for me personally, speaking for myself, like I don't want to say like, okay, you shouldn't do this. I mean, do what makes you happy. If it's making you happy and this is what you want to do for yourself, I feel like go do it. But if you're doing it to fit in and to please somebody else, then you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for vain purposes. Like if you got a little tummy, you've been working out, like you've done everything you can, and you just need to get that little tuck. Okay, do that. Like you work towards
I agree.
it.
If it's for health reasons or something like that, by all means,
do it.
But I guess to me, when people go and they get implants and injections, that's vain.
You're right. You're doing it to look like everybody else.
Mold,
absolutely.
Right? But you weren't designed that way. So anytime that we contradict the design of God, it's gonna show up in some form, or we have to pay for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and it's funny you said that, because in the episode.
Okay.
So
we'll come with.
Well, I don't know if I want to spoil it, because I know it was on Netflix, so they dropped all 10 episodes, so it's not really a spoiler alert. But so the young lady, she ends up getting butt injections, and she's dancing, and she got to perform, and she got her solo, and she's like real geeked about it. She's making money, but then she like falls, and the injections like burst. And it puts her in the hospital, like she almost dies. They show this on the episode, and this is so true, because this has happened to women in real life. Like, you're doing all that to look like all these, Fashion Nova models and these Instagram models, but you don't know what they're injecting in their body. You don't know what they're doing. It's like people are going to like basements to get these injections. Like, you're doing the absolute most. I just feel like, and don't get me wrong, like, I'm a female. And I've been insecure about my body. I'm not even on front like I haven't. I have many a times like, well, I wish my breasts were bigger, or I wish my booty was bigger, or I wish my stomach was flatter. But now I'm to the point where I am right now in my life where I'm just like, I don't care. You're going to take whatever come out of this clothes. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm happy with myself, and I'm happy looking at myself. Of course I'll work out here and there, but I feel like ain't no dude stopping. Like, if they want it, they want it. Like, I'm not finna change my body for anybody, like, until I want to change it for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess my whole opinion on that is, you're designed a certain way. Everybody's designed a certain way. Everybody has different types and likes and whatever, and you have to be you. Listen. And anytime that you go and alter your body and to try to be someone else, because that's what that is when you are altering your body. You are rejecting yourself. Right. I think that you should expect that to show up in your natural life. If you reject you, then other people will reject you.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at that.
When people reject you, when you first rejected
yourself. That's a word.
If you reject yourself, how can
you expect me not to?
Right, exactly. You can't. You should only expect guys to reject you because you did it first. So you teach people how to treat you.
Exactly.
You do.
And then you're doing that to get looked at. That's true.
And not only that, but see, what I don't understand is this. These things are fads. What you're doing is you are permanently altering your body to fit a fad for a season.
Right.
This what's hot now wasn't always hot, and it's crazy because I'm the what did the woman say? I'm the hourglass shape.
Yeah.
This was not always in style.
Yeah.
And I had to walk around my whole life with this shape. Yeah. And I love my body.
Yeah.
I love my shape. You know what I mean? Wouldn't trade it for nothing. But I was the one who would more so like put on sweaters, like try to cover up, because people always thought I was older. You know what I mean? Like grown men would be trying to talk to me when I was like 14.
You said, I'm 12, sir.
Right.
I think I've done that once, and I feel like I've always looked young anyway. So it was like you do, but dude,
no, but see, and
I'm 12, sir.
I've always looked older. Because of the way that I was shaped. You know what I mean? And so I felt like people always labeled me as they just thought, honestly, like I was just some type of hoe because of my shape.
Yeah, because of your shape.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Because when you're really curvy, you're highly sexualized.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So people just assume you just out here.
Right.
Yeah.
But
so I guess I just don't understand, why would you want that type of attention? Why would you want that type of attention?
That's some serious
because now the guys that are approaching you,
right,
it's because of what you did to your body.
Exactly. When a man, honestly, guys, if you're listening, when all honesty, y'all gonna take whatever
they really are
in these clothes.
They gonna get all of this.
Don't tell right. You go or all little of this. It don't matter. You gonna take it, and then that's okay. Like, don't front like you ain't. So I'm just saying. So yeah, that's when I gave up, my own insecurities. Like, I wish my boobs were bigger. No, he gonna take whatever come out of this bra.
But again, whatever you get, you gotta take. Everything comes with it. You can't just have a big butt and go buy all the jeans. That's not how it goes.
That's true.
You can't just have a big chest and expect to walk into any store and find a bra. That's not how that goes.
Struggle.
You know what I mean? So or
if you got both and then you can't read or something. It's always something. So you either got a big butt, big breast, and you can't read.
Or if you have an hourglass shape, you can't wear any and everything because certain things will make you look like you don't have no shape.
That's true. Or make you like a box. Like
you look boxy.
Yeah, that's very true. So yeah, I mean, it's all give and take. So you can't have it all and think you about to be out here.
Right.
And don't let these models fool you because they that was altered. So they getting these fixed and these real tiny waists and they all look like Disney characters. But this is not how he's supposed to look. Like
it's really not.
It's weird.
And it does not. In Sherry Renee's opinion. It looks fake.
It does. Because now it's to the point where everybody looks the same.
Everybody looks the same.
And that's
it's like,
not
be
real.
your unique self.
Yeah.
Like, why wasn't your original shape good enough? You know? Because it really was.
They probably had somebody tell them, which
really
can be harsh. But I'm to the point where I'm just like, you know what? Yeah. You gonna get whatever comes out of these clothes at this point.
Exactly.
I don't care.
You gonna have to, because this is what it is.
And it's funny because I feel like, and I saw this on Instagram too, where people were bringing up like penis shaming. So I'll just call that what it is. But I was just like, I don't think women really go in on guys, and it's just my own personal opinion. I don't think women give guys as hard of a time about their body as men do to women. So it's just like, I'm gonna take you as you are, so you finna take this, bro.
Because there's women who love every type of physique.
Yeah, true.
Like there's a lot of women who love bigger guys. There's a lot of women who want all the basketball physique.
That's me. No, I'm just kidding. I like the hoopers.
Say shout out to them.
Shout out to them.
There's women who are lovers of beards.
Shout out to them. Hence my list. Go check it out.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like women, we be shouting out all the dudes.
Listen.
You know what I mean?
Then the men, like, I want this big booty, like 34, 26, 47. Like, what?
47?
I don't know how it works.
You're like, look, I'm making up numbers here. I don't know.
I'm just making it up.
Are these lottery numbers? 24.
I mean, that's what it sounds like when every time I hear that. Like, bro, shut up. But what's your measurements? You probably like a 34 yourself. So please shut up, sir. And you're going to take whatever comes out of these clothes,
and then
okay?
not only that, but, bodies change.
They do. Oh, listen. Especially after having children. That was like, I mean, Sherry and I have known each other forever. So I was started off like skinny, like super, super skinny. I mean, we all did when we were younger. Everybody was skinny. And then I had a kid, and that was like a shock. Like, I gained so much weight that I was just like, who is this person?
Right,
like, I couldn't even function with myself. So then, stuff happens in life. You're depressed, and depression is actually kind of a good thing.
Depression is a good weight loss treatment. So shout out to depression.
Listen, so we not making fun of depression. Depression is a real thing. Don't get us wrong. Please don't. But however,
it's an amazing, like, if you got weight that you just can't
listen,
let go of.
Here, I was living in North Carolina, super depressed, came back on fleek.
Yeah, because he was like, Chanel, is that you? Where you go?
Came back home on fleek. That depression was real. Like, I was just like, I can't eat. I just want to go home
every day. I would call Chanel just to check on her
every day.
And I would be like, well, did you go eat something? I just want to go home.
Right.
Did you do it? Nope, I ain't do it. I just want to. She said, when I get off work, I just go home and go to sleep because I want it to be the next day because it's one day closer to me coming home. I was like, dang.
That is so true.
Oh God.
Every day I would be knocked out at like 4:00. Like, come on, next day. Like, I just gotta get through this day. So bad. And again, depression is not funny because I was really depressed. Like, it was really bad. Like, but the glory be to God, I was at home and I came back on fleek. So that was the great part of it. But yeah, especially women, like, our bodies go through so many changes.
A lot of people, when they have babies and they breastfeed, one of my friends had a beautiful baby. So shouts out to Veronica.
Aww.
Her baby is so cute. Like, I be calling him my baby because that's how cute he is. Like, if I did have a baby, it would probably be him. But yeah, like, she fine. I was like, V.
Yeah.
Because, I was trying to figure out what my diet plan was going to be. And I was like,
they said,
what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a baby.
Gotcha.
Breastfeed.
Listen.
And then, boom.
I'm a super advocate for breastfeeding. Like, and that's one thing I didn't do. Like, I was just like, ain't nobody got time for this. So, but if you do it, it definitely like. Listen, I was like, I mean, for you to go get some formula because we're not doing this. But you live and you learn. But if I would have known how wonderful that is, and I would have been on fleek like a long time ago. But whatever, you live and you learn. But yeah, women's bodies go through so much, and it's funny that that's another pressure that we have to deal with aside from being a woman and not being married and trying to fit in all these different categories. But then our bodies are always subjected. So
yeah.
Always,
like for real.
And it's not just black women, it's like all women's bodies, like everybody. So yeah, it's just crazy. And now
because people will legit like take pictures and post them and be like, she ain't got no booty,
or
or look at it, like it's like, just leave her alone. I think I sent you guys
or it looked like she had a long day. Why are we like this? I cannot beside her.
Oh my goodness.
But it's really sad. Like, if she happy with her back, then hey. Do you, sis? Like, yeah, it doesn't even matter. Like, and when guys like will compliment me on my shape, like, wow, like you so thick, or you this or you that, I really be like, so? Like, who cares?
Right, exactly.
I be thinking like that all the time. Like, have you heard how funny I am? Like, that's what you should be commenting on.
And that's funny because that's exactly how I am too. Yeah. I always feel like you don't see me.
You don't.
You know what I mean?
Like, have you listened to any of my playlists? Like, have you gone through my music? Like, I'm like, really
tight. Do you know how tight I
am? Exactly. Like
this shape ain't nothing.
This body just icing on the cake. Listen, because deep down, I'm really a great person.
I'm a cold piece.
Listen, I'm out here. So
anybody can have this shape. You can go buy that.
Exactly. You absolutely can. You can go to Columbia right now and get this whole body for the low. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's another pressure.
So how come we don't shame men's bodies? Like, how come we don't? You know what I mean? And like you said, we don't penis shame. We don't do any of that.
Well, I will say.
Well, so some women do.
I was just gonna say
throw them in the group chats and stuff like that. But some people do.
Scout Towner, I don't do that. No. No, I don't.
She sent me one this morning. I was like, whoa. No, I'm just playing.
I don't. If you send any pictures to me, they're for me. But anyway.
But if you send them to Brunch with Besties, they will go.
Don't listen. If you send them to our Brunch with Besties DM, listen, we both gonna look at it and we both gonna judge that mug. So if you want to send it.
If you want some feedback,
means, no. Listen. But I don't know why. I will say, some women do, like you said, some women do penis shame. There are women out there, just like they're not all men like body shame women. I'm sure there are some men. So we got to you know, shout out to both sides of that coin. But I will say women don't, because for what? Like, well, at least I don't, because it's just like, for what?
Yeah.
Why am I ashamed? Like, again, everybody is not the same, and everybody shouldn't be the same. Like, if all men had the same shape,
right,
and the same size, I would be like, this is weird.
Exactly.
Like, I don't get why men are like,
because,
why y'all all look the same?
Just like, if you're acting up, then I just replaced you, because all of y'all are literally
the same. Exactly. And
that's why I think that people really need to focus on just really being themselves, like learning who they are, really understanding what Tracee Ellis Ross said, my life is mine, you know, like doing what's really them, because you just become another carbon copy
of somebody else, and you this baddie, but you like depressed and you got all these mental health issues, and nobody wants you like a vessel with nothing in it. Like, who wants that? So have some substance. And I mean, if you've gotten, like I said, your little nip tuck and you did it for health reasons or whatever, as long as you're doing it for you, I mean, I can care less. But when you're trying to conform and be like everybody else, then that's a problem. Because don't get me wrong, like, makeup is my friend, and I will contour and highlight all I please. But do I do that every day? No.
Right.
So if you see me Monday through Friday, I probably look like trash, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. If you come to my job and you come see me with my kids, you would be like, are you okay? Like, is that you? But if you happen to see me on the weekend, it's a different person. Like, I'm definitely going to be highlighted and contour. But again, I'm comfortable in both skins. So I'm still going to be Chanel either way, whether I'm dolled up or I'm looking like a homeless person Monday through Friday.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
because That's me too, because you know me, I'll switch up my hair like it ain't no tomorrow. But hey, it's so now people, you know, randomly FaceTime me. I just answer it, okay?
Oh, no, you a big G. Because if somebody randomly FaceTime me, I don't care who you are.
At the end of the day, this is who I am.
That's true.
Okay? This is me.
You tight.
So whatever.
I really have to, like, we have to have, like, a bond set. But if you like a new person, you better not FaceTime me.
Well, if you're a new person, you probably ain't ain't going to be FaceTiming you.
There you go. Yeah, because a new person tried to FaceTime me the other day, and I was like, no.
No,
decline.
Excuse me.
Right.
You haven't met your 30-day requirement.
Listen, you did not make an appointment for this.
Right.
Decline.
No, but so like I started going natural when I was in college, and that was before it was a thing. Yeah. So I called it growing out my perm because that's what it was.
Basically, that was it.
And so like people would ask me about like different guys, like, oh, have you let them see you like this? Yeah. I was in the middle of washing my hair, and they came over.
Hey.
So this is what it is.
You getting what you get.
Right.
Listen. Yeah. So if it's like people I know and build a bond with, of course, you can see the real me. Not even the real me, but you can see like me comfortable, and I'm comfortable with showing you my vulnerability. Yeah. I can't even say the word. So yeah, because sometimes people will use that against you, and I'm not just about to disclose myself to anybody, because you're not going to use this against me, so no.
Yeah, and we wouldn't do that to people. But you know what? I think that a lot of guys, like guys that are bigger, like they be embracing it.
Yeah.
Like there was this one guy that I was following, and all his memes would be like basically like just praising big dudes.
That is funny.
Like, oh, you over there with that chicken dinner, you need to get you a bigger dinner.
A bigger dinner. So bad.
You know, stuff like that. But
listen,
you know, hey, I was like, you know what? Hey,
I love guys like that. If you're open and you like, you not have this like, oh, she has to look like this and stuff like that. Like, I think that's really refreshing because you don't have this like ideal of what a woman should look like and what she should be doing like in your mind. So I think that's dope. But again, we don't care. Like, don't tell us about our body. Like, be like, oh, this joke is funny, or she made me laugh. Like, that's the stuff I'm looking for.
Yeah, and that's me too. Like, okay, we hear about how we look literally all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
So guys, if you want to set yourself apart with the girl, try telling her something that's beyond the physical.
Yeah, send me a track or something, and I'll be like, wow, he tight. So yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
That was great. So my life is mine.
My life is mine.
Hence my emphasis on mine.
Yes.
It's my life. So if you don't get your life, then it's a problem.
So I don't know. Alrighty. So what are we taking away? In the to-go box.
I feel like we really just chopped it up. Like, I'm kind of tired. Like, I got the itis. Like, we really just did the most right now. That was great. I'm definitely going to take away, again, living your best life, no matter how old you are. I don't care if you're 21, 31, 41, 51, 61. There is no age limit to anything. Whatever goals and dreams you have, they're still attainable. So just live your best life for you. Don't let anybody try to put you in a box and say, oh, well, you're too old, you're too fat, you're too this, you're too that. Do whatever you want to do. Girls are so awesome. Like, we're queens, and people need to recognize that.
Kind of make the world go round.
Listen, without women, it won't be no world. Just be space.
I can't. But actually, speaking of what you just said, there was this one post that somebody put up, and it was like, you know, if you're just now getting your degree and you're 40, that's still an accomplishment. If you just now bought a house and you 50, that's still an accomplishment.
I think Queen Bee posted that.
It? Okay. Yeah. And I probably got all of that wrong. But y'all get the point.
That was the gist. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the gist of it. And yeah, that's true. Like, don't let anybody ever diminish the things that you have done. I think that's my takeaway. Really understand what it is that you want to do, and then do that.
Do it.
Regardless.
There is no time limit on anything. There's no expiration date.
Now, do that. Don't let people be like, oh, well, shouldn't you be doing? No. Why? Because I don't want to.
Exactly.
I don't want to is a good enough excuse.
When
Say you're an adult. Now, don't try that when you were a kid, because your mama will pop you.
Yeah.
But as an adult.
Because I almost like beat the brakes off mine.
Because he said he didn't want to.
For saying that. Like, what? But yeah, as an adult, go for that. Say it with conviction. I don't want to. Like, okay.
I don't want to.
Listen, simple.
Okay. So Thank you for tuning in to Brunch with Besties. Until next time.
Peace. Thanks, guys, for listening to Brunch with Besties podcast. Be sure to find us on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, now YouTube, and Google Play. Basically, we airware. Don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes. Leave us a review and rate us. We would so appreciate that. Also, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to find us on Twitter. Our handle is BrunchWBesties. On IG, you can find us at Brunch with Besties Podcast. And if you'd like, you can shoot us an email. Our Gmail is brunchwithbestiespodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Peace.